I mean, you've got two brothers who were both affected by the lockdown and by people being told to self-isolate and what have you. Starting off with Galal, I've spoken to Gamal and Galal himself about how he felt with the Olympic qualifiers being suspended just after he had fought and qualified for what would have been Tokyo 2020. Now it's been pushed back to next year at the earliest. What have you spoken to Galal about, and how good was you for him that he won't get the chance to fight this summer at his second Olympic Games?
Yeah, I was gutted for him, but he qualified. Like he had the chance to actually qualify,
Yeah.
so he was one of the last fights. Before the qualifier got ended. So him and Peter McGrath were lucky to qualify before, but he has to wait another year. But it could be worse. At least he knows now he's qualified, and he can he can just basically he can sit back knowing that. Like I said to him, I said, you could have they could have ended the tournament then. You could have went home and now been locked in your apartment and not having qualified. So I'd rather be locked at home knowing that I've qualified. So you've done the hard bit, but yeah, he's obviously he has to wait another year because he wanted to turn pro and stuff. So, but I'm more gutted for Gamal
Yeah.
because obviously he's had a lot of time out through injury and stuff, and then he had his European title fight in Italy, and then that gets called off. So another period of being inactive, which isn't great.
Obviously, with Galal, you mentioned he's at least qualified, and it will only be another year at least. But as I spoke to him and Gamal, they both said Galal's kind of in two minds as to what to do. Does he just persist with it and hold out for another year, or does he turn over? It's been about a week or so now since I spoke to him. Have you got any update for us? What's your thoughts on it? Do you think he should go to the Olympics, or do you think he should turn pro? Because obviously he's getting on with time now.
He'll go to the Olympics, yeah. He'll go to the Olympics. The thing that people forget is that he's 26 or 27 now, so but he ain't been boxing that long. So he's been on the program for 4 years. So it's not long at all compared to a lot of the fighters that have there been 7, 8 years. So he's still very fresh because he never started boxing until he was about 16, 17. So he's fresh. So he's got a long time to go. Especially boxing the way it is nowadays, where smaller guys can go on into mid and late 30s. So I think he will go to the Olympics, and then he'll turn pro after.
Obviously, he'll reach that stage now, as I'm sure a lot of the GB lads will, who are looking to go to the Olympics and turn pro. They'll have promoters and managers in their ear, come and sign with us, come and fight under us and what have you. I imagine that yourself and your brother are kind of guiding him, giving him advice and everything. Has any of that process begun? Has Galal had a few people in his ear saying, come and work with us and what have you?
Not that I know of, but they got a good setup up in Sheffield as well, and he takes a lot of advice from Rob up there. So Rob will be advising him, and I'm sure it'll be all good advice. So I do think he'll stay for the Olympics and then turn pro straight after.
And obviously, just touch on Gamal, as you mentioned, he was going to box in Italy for the European title. Got it for him in different circumstances because of the fact you mentioned he spent a lot of time out with injuries, came back, obviously had that defeat to McDonald, and now he's got his chance to go in for a European title. How frustrating a career do you think Gamal has had in your own eyes?
It's been very frustrating because he boxed, I think it was September 2018 on the Khan card in Birmingham, tore his bicep. Then he was out for about, 8 months. Come back. No, he didn't even come back. He was going to fight in Italy on the card. And then on the Monday of the fight, the week of the fight, he had his last spar and he tore his other bicep in the first round. And then he was out for another 6, 7 months. And then boxing Manchester, got another stoppage there. And then he's got his European title fight, and then not long before that, all this has happened. So he's been out. He hadn't fought since November last year. So that's another what? It's been another 5 months so far. So God knows how long it is till he gets to fight again.
I mean, obviously everybody's in lockdown now, but how are you all finding it? How are you all kind of keeping in touch and trying to keep each other's spirits up?
Yeah, we're all good. Running out of things to do. I've even started gardening, but Netflix has kept me occupied. What did I do? Just completed Breaking Bad. Bit late on that one. That was
Thoughts?
good. Yeah, it was really good. Ozark was brilliant. Tiger King was the one. That was interesting. You watched it?
I haven't, no, but I've seen a lot of people mentioning it, so I might have to.
You need to watch it.
He's having,
When,
as you can see, Carl's having a lot of fun with the settings here on Zoom and the backgrounds.
Once you watch it, you'll know what I'm on about, and you'll appreciate this background.
um,
But are you an Office fan?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I'm the new Michael Scott.
I
That's the
mean, he's not
American.
doing. I
That's the
mean,
American
he's
one.
not really doing much for yourself because he's kind of covering up parts of your face, the
I know,
background.
but can't go anywhere. So let's pretend I'm in San Francisco. I'm as small as an ant, so I'm in the fucking. Yeah.
Is this what you all do? Is this what you all get on Zoom and then you're all
You know
just
what? I don't even use
pretending going
Zoom.
away?
I used it for the first time the other day in a meeting, and there was about 6 or 7 people on it. But I'm gonna start using it.
How,
That's the best. That's the one.
how are your brothers? Like, how's Gamal trying to cope with and Galal trying to cope with lockdown and keeping themselves busy?
I'm trying not to laugh at it. Go on.
How are Gamal and Galal trying to keep themselves busy? Why don't you do some form of a family game night? You can all get on Skype or get on Zoom and you can all do something together.
That's long. The only game we're doing is on FIFA.
And who's coming out on top there?
No comment.
Obviously, as well, just a final thing, you mentioned that lockdown's probably suited you because I remember when I saw you back in Birmingham when we was all out and we just bumped into each other, we were getting some food, and you said that you was having some 4 a.m. trips to McDonald's and what have you since Texas. So I imagine lockdown's probably worked out good for you.
Not really, because I've got the cupboard stash. All the goodies in. The missus got it all in. But nah, it's all good. There's no McDonald's now, no KFC, no Nando's, nothing. So I think yeah, some home cooking's been good. The odd little takeaway still open, but it's hard to trust some places. Domino's has been good. Domino's is still open.
I can see your face light up when you mentioned Domino's.
No contact. Domino's. Liberty doorstep. Bang. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty quiet. It's always quiet, but yeah, look forward to start getting the ball moving again, get the ball rolling, and yeah, get ready to becoming a 2-time world champion, which would be nice.
A couple of quick fights on, just get your thoughts on before I do let you go to enjoy the rest of your day, Cal. Joshua Pulev was announced before everything was postponed and what have you with what's going on. With that announcement, what do you make of their fight?
Joshua wins that fight pretty comfortable, I think. Pulev was around when I first jumped on the amateur scene as a senior back in like 2007, and Pulev was an old man then. He'd been around for ages then, so I don't think he's gonna cause much threat to Josh. So I think Josh will look good, and I think he'll break him down gradually.
Obviously, a lot of talk and a lot of hype about a potential undisputed fight between AJ and Tyson Fury. Tyson fought the week before you did against Deontay Wilder, of course. If that fight was to ever happen, who do you think wins? Fury's now looked at as the favourite, but who do you think wins?
It's a hard fight to predict because you've got Fury, who's a good boxer and he's unpredictable, moves well, so he'll always look to put Josh in them traps. But then puts his punches together well, punches hard. It's if Josh can obviously catch Fury and put his punches together and make them count, then he can win the fight. But then you look at Fury, and if he can outbox and just stay out of Josh's way, then he can win the fight. So I think it's the biggest fight to be made in British boxing, and I think it's the biggest British fight that can be made in the history of the sport in Britain. So I think it's a fight that we've got to see at some point, and the sooner the better.
Just something I wanted to quickly get your thoughts on. I don't know whether you'd have seen it or not, but Carl Froch and Joe Calzaghe over their different respective podcasts, or Joe Calzaghe's case on TalkSport, both talking about each other again. Have you seen any of it? Anything coming up on your social media?
I haven't really. Don't know if you go look on his Instagram and that, but I need to stay more up to date on Twitter and stuff.
Carl coming out saying he'd be happy to fight Joe now, and he'd come out of retirement to fight Joe now. Joe a bit more against that idea, shall we say. He's enjoying retirement, has no interest there to come out to have that fight. But in their primes, if Joe Calzaghe and Carl Froch had fought, who do you think would have won?
It's a difficult one, that is. You'd probably have to lean towards Calzaghe, but you'd never put Froch out of it. He can punch like mad. He's very strong. Interesting fight, but you'd have to lean towards Calzaghe slightly, I think. But there's no point in this fight happening now. They're old now.
Well, we've seen stranger things, Cal. We've seen people talk about comebacks and what have you at elder ages. So Shannon the Cannon Briggs still talking about wanting to come back. But before, obviously, I do let you go, what would you like to say to everybody who's going to watch this interview in these tough times?
Just try and stay active in the lockdown. Stay safe. Stay home. Enjoy this time you get with your family. Make the most out of it, because I don't think we'll see this kind of thing happen again. So, make the most out of the time. Enjoy it. And thanks for all the support. And just watch out for me to becoming a 2-time world champion.
It's well put, Cal, and we'll leave that there now. It's always been a pleasure to catch up with you. I'll hopefully see yourself, your brothers, and your families in face-to-face circumstances in the near future. But stay safe to you guys, and it's been good to catch up. Thanks for speaking to Boxing Social.
No problem.